CHILPARCO Podcasts. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, and a big welcome to CHILPARCO Podcast. This is all about being real and talking about the power from within, because that's what makes one unique, unstoppable. And that's what, is the purpose of our existence on planet Earth. We all have a purpose, and we fulfill that purpose with some kind of a mission, with our power that we have within. And we all have that unique power. It's only that sometimes we don't understand or recognize it, but once we do, we are dynamite. And this show is all about, again, understanding the real things. We're living in a world which is very beautiful, but at times we mask it with a lot of masks. And I think it's about time that we understand and learn that, it's not about making life complex. It's about making life beautiful and simple, spreading smiles, spreading peace, spreading love, spreading happiness, spreading sanguinity, enhancing every beautiful soul's self worth. That's important. And so here we are with our second episode of Chilparco Podcasts. And you can see the beautiful, the charming, the very elegant. And I always think, whenever I look at her, I always feel that she is so calm, so cool. Her demeanor is so serene. That is the word for her. She is a happiness coach. She calls herself the happy coach, and that she surely is. You can see her smiles, and you'll know what I mean. And not only that, she is the founder of Mind and Me, and she is the co-founder of AIEF, which is All India Educators Forum, and that's a huge platform, believe me. So first of all, let's welcome the vivacious Nina Aracle Matthew. Hello, how are you?
Good evening, and thank you for such a wonderful introduction to the gorgeous, ever gorgeous Miss Alka. I love your dazzling smile and the way you introduce, the way you're so generous with the compliments. I just love that about you,
that's
ma'am.
that's what you are. I mean, I don't have to. It's all over your face. And I always, when I think of you, that sweet serene smile comes to my mind, and it just brightens up my face. And I think to myself, I can, in this situation, behave like her. I think at times, one needs to feel calm and serene and quiet, and that. I'm most of the time I'm like But yes, I always remember you thinking about this beautiful personality of yours. But you know what? You're the happiness coach. You're all smiles. But there's more to Nina Matthew than that. What is that more?
There is a lot more to
Yeah,
the happiness coach and to what you see. It's not that I'm always 24/7. I'm not a happy person, but I believe that I am the biggest project that I'll ever work on. So I keep working on myself, and what you see, it's a real me. It's not made up. But the thing is that I do lose temper. I do, my mistakes are there, but I accept it all and I work on it. I see, okay, I did this, or I did what were the actions that I can do to not repeat it and become a better person. So that's my job on me that I keep doing.
wow. You know what? You were so honestly, articulate about, the way you are. I think it does happen to the best of us. But if I see you overall, that's the way you are. You're always happy, and I think you pass on that energy to to your students, to your colleagues, to people that you interact with. And I think that is what makes you the wonderful person that you are. You spread that positivity, you spread that sanguinity. And I think I love the fact that you do it so simply. There is no, no fake, there's no put on things, I mean, like people have lots of put on things with them. But no, this is the way I am, take me or leave me. Well, that's the way I am. And this is so beautiful about you. So this
Actually,
is
uh, Alka ma'am, I'll say one thing is that if I have worked on myself, I feel, I'm a gift to the society. If I have worked and if I am making that effort, whether it be the people I interact with, the books that
hmm,
I read, the actions that I take for myself, it's always something for the people around me.
okay.
It's for me, yes,
Hmm.
but what I become, it's not for me. It's always uh, for the people whom I am interacting with. Because if I can, that's a huge compliment again from you, that if I can give that gift of calmness,
Oh
of
yes, you give it
patience,
to me
of
all the time. I
so
don't know how
I
many times I
I feel
remember you
I
when I
feel
have to
blessed.
be on that mode because
I
generally I'm like,
I really feel blessed
no,
for
no,
that.
you really, that is the energy that you have. And I think that's so beautiful that you're able to, this gift of yours, you're able to share it with others. And, that is what makes life beautiful when we believe in this power of sharing our uniqueness with other souls on planet Earth. This is what it is. People think of it that, oh, this is not really important, but this is important. This is what we try to say. This is the most important. All other things are here today, gone tomorrow, nothing. But what will stay is the way you are, and Maya Angelou, I think she said this, people will always remember the way you made them feel. And I
Mm,
think this is what we need to constantly, work on. Like you said, I think most of us are trying to work on ourselves,
mm,
project in work in progress kind of a thing. I think it's like that because if we stop doing that, I think we are not accepting anything, any new information or anything new we're not receiving. I mean, we feel that, yeah, we know it all, and I don't think we can ever stop that way.
mm.
But having said this, I know you're very calm and serene and all that, but if you just go back, was there ever a time you did something very daredevilry kind of an act and you're very proud of that? Because I'm sure you've had those moments. You were in Shimla. I remember you've done your college over there. And was there any kind of a daredevilry kind of an act, maybe in college with the girl gang, or maybe you just, sort of played a game with the professors? I mean, anything like that that comes to your mind?
Well, yes.
Okay, wow. I was thinking whether I'll get some answer here, but yeah, I got it.
So, so my wings are bigger than the horns, probably, but today the horns will be visible. So it's for you to decide. The thing is that when I was in school, I was a very good student. Okay, I
Okay.
was well behaved.
Uh,
I prim and proper, and I
oh,
knew how
I'm
to
sure
behave and
about
everything.
that.
Yeah. So from school time, you will never ever hear anything that I have crossed the line or never. It's like it's full discipline.
Hmm,
And the moment I went to a boarding, okay,
hmm.
there it was like, wow, what are you saying? I mean, this environment completely was in love with that environment. Parents are not there. And there is a
Yeah.
dormitory. Wow. And then there are bunker
Girl
beds and,
gang.
girl gang. Wow. I've always wished for this. And it was a great freedom over there. And our room was above the canteen. Okay.
Mhm.
So we have these big, this was St. Bede's College in Shimla, and they have big French windows without
Wow,
any,
I love them.
yeah,
Reminds me of a short
there are no
story,
grills. Yeah.
someone coming from the open window. I'm
Yeah.
forgetting
Open window. Open window is a story. Yeah. So, the hunt, they had gone for hunting and then they
Yes,
come
yes,
back.
yes,
Yes.
yes. And then they came through. It was
Yeah, yeah,
raining.
through the
All
window.
the
Yes.
the carpet getting,
Yeah. And
spoiled.
how
My God,
she
that would give me a fright.
yeah,
The
that little
carpet
girl.
going.
Yeah. She concocted the story, the little girl.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so then this does not have any grills, and we used to sit and bask in the sun over there. We used to get the sunlight, and
Hmm.
being a girls' college, it was well protected. And the thing is that that day there was some entrance exam, and there was uh, children from other colleges who had come to give
Okay,
the entrance
okay.
exam.
Hmm.
So it was a chance for us to peep and look, and so then
Were there some good-looking guys?
well, from aerial point of view, no. So we
Okay,
couldn't go we
okay.
couldn't go down. We were not allowed.
Huh.
So whatever we could see. And then one of my friends who was sitting at the edge of the windowsill, we were just having something, some eating something, maybe orange or something, and the peel just fell off on someone's head. I don't know whether it was on purpose or not,
Okay.
but then someone shouted from, we could hear. Suddenly we came off, and there was another girl in the room, and we said that I think someone's calling, and we just looked down, and the whole blame went on that. You are the one who was thrown. So we were saved by that incident. So that is
Wow.
one
Okay.
incident, and
You feel so, I mean, there's a different kind of a feeling that you have done something and the blame goes to someone else.
someone else,
Wow.
yes. So then and we have, oh yes, in school and college, school also, we I have done, I mean, I have
Really?
bunked. Yeah, 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 I have
Prim
bunked.
and proper Nina.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't believe this.
I have bunked. Yeah, yeah, I have bunked one or two classes which I used to find boring, and we used to go to the library, or um, attend some program, inter-school programs, which maybe that particular class is not allowed. So it was mainly debates. So I
Ah,
used to love watching debates and be a part
so
of it. And
there
so
you go. The real talk, the debater. Yeah, obviously, obviously.
so then I
Okay.
used to, yeah, library. It was library or for watching the program, but never whiling away the time anywhere.
Oh,
But yeah.
yes.
So
That's what I
then,
was wondering. Prim
yeah.
and proper Nina couldn't be doing anything like that.
No,
And
no, but that
this is
no,
a
no, no,
good
I'm
bunk.
coming. I'm no, that's a good bunk in school. That's why I said in school I don't feel, I've done something. But in college also I bunked, and it was like lunch. If the lunch is not good in college,
Oh,
so
yeah,
then
I
we
know.
had this Papi Ji ka dhaba. Okay,
Acha.
so Papi Ji ka dhaba was like amazing food, and very nominal and economical. So we used to go there to have lunch. And then
Without anyone,
Papi ji knew, huh?
without
Papi ji,
telling anyone,
yeah, yeah, without
without
telling anyone. And
permissions.
once we were
Caught.
just about to be caught, we were about to be caught standing at the bus stop. And I remember me and my friend, we saw our lecturer coming and says, oh my God, we had it now. Let's go behind and stand behind the tree. And we were so scared, ma'am. We just went and hid behind the tree till she took the bus and she went. She left the stop. And then I looked back and there was a big pit. I mean, we were at
Oh
the
my
edge of the
God.
mountain. At the edge of the mountain, we were. I mean,
Oh,
the tree
good
was
Lord.
already like tilted, and all we could think was to save
Save us. Obviously, that would be the
save, yeah,
first
yeah, yeah,
thing to do.
save from the lecturer, but not, I mean, we didn't even realize that where we are standing.
That's where you were. I know. I
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah. And now after 20, 25 years, both of us, we went for a college reunite, and we said, I said, Jenny, you remember we were standing here? We could have died.
Oh, come on. Well, I think those were moments, and I think
Mm.
there was some kind of a learning over there as well. Every experience in life gives us some kind of a learning. So though,
Yeah.
even though those daredevilry acts or adventurous
Hmm.
acts, and
Hmm.
again, that companionship with your best friend, and the fact
Hmm.
that you learned doing things together. I think there's so much
Hmm.
of learning anyway in life.
Hmm.
So since we're talking about this, you have been an educator for a long time now. Um, what are your real tips for educators, which are being said? People are talking about them, but not really walking. It's like talking, but not really walking the talk. So,
Hmm.
what are those some tips that you could share? Because it's high time people and educators, because we are nurturing the future. I mean, we are nurturing them to become good human beings. I think that's the most important thing.
Yes, true,
So,
ma'am.
where do we go wrong? Or what
Hmm.
are those
Let
things that, our kids really need to understand from us? Because you are really good at this. So, I really want you to share something about this.
uh, for educators, I will definitely say that if you are here in this field, be for the love of it. Be here for the love that you have for children, the the cause that you are here for, because being an educator is not going to make you a millionaire. It
Oh,
is
yeah.
not going to
Very well
just,
said. Real talk
yeah,
here, ladies and
yeah.
gentlemen.
So understand that what are you here for? And it is not a time pass, never a time pass. So if it is your last option from employment, please stay away. If it is that you are here to become rich, please stay away. Come here for the love of learning.
So
Come
true.
here for the love of children and the
Brilliant.
purpose as a community. And only then you will get the joy of whatever you are doing, wherever you are. The biggest school, the small. I have taught in garage also, a school that began in a garage. But I used to just
But
give my best over there. I used to love going there, and children used to love me. So
I'm
it's,
sure about that.
yeah. So then, I mean, that, and you need, when you are interacting with children, you don't have to have any filters, no filters. They understand energy immediately, instantly. So be here for the love of it, and be here for the learning part, not the teaching part. It's,
I love
they are
this.
learning and you are also learning. You are not here to teach.
Brilliantly said. I think this is so real. This is what, the podcasts are all about, the real talk coming from real people like Nina. I mean, this is so wonderful what you said. If you're here thinking that this is just an option of a career for you, then stay away. This is so very well said, because if you talk to many of the educators, they'll say, oh, because I couldn't get into any other field, so I thought, why not get into education? It's like a part-time thing, and I'll go in the morning, I'll come back, and I'll have the rest of the day to myself. This is the general the general lines which people, and the men folk, they generally say that, oh, we can go home and do something else. So I think this is so wrong. I think this is what we really need to enlighten people about. I don't know, even if a percentage, even if a small percentage can understand this reality that you just now spoke, I think education can become a blessing. And it
Hmm.
can actually make life beautiful, because this is what we're trying to do, make life beautiful. And only if there is some real thing involved, without filters, like you said, then
Hmm.
only it becomes beautiful. Wow.
Okay.
If you were here just in front of me, I would have given you a big chocolate for that.
And I can give you a big hug, virtual
Oh,
hug.
wow. Ah, so sweet. That's the best part, Okay, now this happy, you just smiled so beautifully. But tell me, if a person really, I know that happiness is an inside job, we need to feel that. But
Hmm.
what would your tips be? Because sometimes people forget to be happy for themselves. I know it's an inside job, it's your feelings, but
Mhm.
are there some tips that you could share, uh, so that people remember that, at the end of the day, they just need to be simple, happy, accept themselves for the way they are? Some kind of tips that you could share for that?
Happiness, we need to understand that what is happiness to you
Mm,
and how people perceive happiness. Now, happiness is never bought, and it is never, I mean, it is something which, if you are looking for a permanent happiness,
mm,
it is in the present moment, having
perfect.
gratitude for that.
Mm,
And if you are pursuing happiness by buying things or traveling, that is good. I mean, in a way, it will give you momentary happiness. It
mm,
will definitely. But it's
yes.
not going to, the moment you come back and face the reality of going to the kitchen, making yourself tea, or cooking for everyone, I mean, the reality, what is your reality? Be in love with your reality, accept it. And if at all, I mean, we all have our ups and downs. No
Oh, yeah.
one's life is perfect. No
No one,
one's
yes.
life
We're
is
all human
perfect.
beings.
But it's the, like you said, ma'am, it's the simplicity of life. If you have
Yes.
made a cup of tea for yourself and there's no one else to make for you, doesn't matter. At least you have a kitchen, you have
Yes.
the ability to go and make
Make.
yourself enjoy that sip by
Yes.
sip. And that is your life also. Sip by sip. Enjoy your life. And
Lovely.
that, in those little moments only, you will find happiness. Uh, but treat yourself also with greater happiness. That is the greater happiness. But
Yes,
the real
absolutely.
happiness is in the everyday routine.
Yeah, you're so right. I mean, emotional also I got, but it's in these little things, when you
Mm.
just prepare that cup of coffee for yourself
Mm.
and just sit down, relax, and enjoy
Mm.
sip by sip. I think those are the moments that really delight you. There's a sensation within you that makes you feel so euphoric, and then you look
Mm.
outside, go to your terrace, your balcony, look at the sights, look at
Mm.
nature, look at the trees, look at the sky. I mean, it it's a
Mm.
different feeling. It actually rejuvenates. And you're
Yes,
right. Happiness is in the moment. It's
yes.
not here, there, before, after. We don't know about that.
Mm-hmm.
It's now. It's now.
Mm.
And I think we need to remind ourselves of this because we forget in
Yes.
this race for
Mm.
our existence on planet Earth at times. I would say more towards the materialistic one. We
Mm.
forget about these simple, little pleasures of life,
Yes,
which you
yes,
so beautifully brought out just now. And that's it, sip by sip. That's how we need to enjoy our life.
yes.
I like that.
True. And
Yeah,
it is not easy for a working person
it's not easy.
because, yes, when you are getting up by an alarm, 5 o'clock in the morning, and you have to catch
Mm,
the bus, there is rush, there's this. But in
right.
that routine, that's also a routine. I always say to my friends or my associates that this is a routine, I have to get up, I have to work. I said, this is such a blessing. Like, imagine
Enjoy.
if someone is not well, someone is in the hospital, how your routine gets upset. And
Yeah,
you actually pray that, Lord, please give me back my routine. I was happy that
yeah,
time.
you're
So
right.
this routine also is a blessing. It's a blessing that you're working. It's a blessing that you are healthy. It's a blessing that you can contribute. Look, I mean, the perception. It's the perception of the day-to-day routine that makes you happy.
You're so right. Day to day routine, perception, and even in these little things that we're doing, like you said, we have to find those moments of joy. There are,
Mm.
when we at times, I think we take things for granted, and then when we have something, we feel that, oh, I don't have this. We don't enjoy what we have.
We
This
have,
is what
right.
you
Mm.
actually said just now. We don't enjoy what we have. We should start learning to do that. And that will bring in that happiness and we'll start feeling happy from within. It might take time and it's not easy, especially for some of us who are constantly cribbing and cribbing and complaining and rushing against time. So I think there are lots of ways to do that, but that's a different story. Everybody has their own routines, and then their routine should be built in such a way that they can sip by sip, like you said, enjoy life.
Yeah.
Yeah, very well said. Brilliant. Okay, some real talk for parents. What do parents, new age parenting, we talk about it all the time, but what do the parents of today need to understand? The real thing that they need to understand. I mean, it's all okay about those big, big things that we keep on hearing, but we're talking about the real things. I mean, what do parents really need to know?
Keep the digital devices away
Oh, yeah.
and celebrate your child. Be there. I mean, listen and be there for the child's queries or
And they
developments.
have a lot of
And
them, right? Children
yeah,
have a lot of queries. Only thing is, we're
hmm,
not patiently listening
hmm,
to them. I
yeah.
would just wanted to remind all our, everyone who's joined us today, please remember this. What she's saying is very powerful and very empowering indeed. Yes. I'm
Thank
sorry.
you. So then celebrate the milestones of your child.
Hmm.
And don't get worried with the milestone not being achieved because it is mentioned in the chart that up to 12 months this is going to happen, up to 1 year, 2 years, the child will start speaking, and suddenly that anxiousness is there among young mothers.
Yes, yes. It builds up.
It builds up, but
Yes.
for me, like as a personal, I mean, motherhood journey, it had been really tough initially. It was a tough journey. I have mentioned in my book, and I don't want to go into that. But I want to say that what Michelle is today, my daughter,
Hmm.
it is the affirmations, the gratitude, the prayer that I have every day, every single day, the affirmation. Build on that affirmation
I love this. Another
of
of my
your
favorite word and topic.
of your relationship with your child, because that is something which you need to nurture over a period of time, and during that journey maybe you will lose your temper, maybe sometimes it may make you anxious once the child starts going to school and learns there is a learned behavior in school and the environment. Don't get taxed up with that. Have a real time conversation with the child. Just don't react with whatever the child tells you ever. Don't react, because when we are exposing our child to an external environment, we don't know what they are facing or what they have seen or what they have heard.
Hmm.
They'll come up with vague questions, or we will think that where did this come from. Don't go there. Don't,
Hmm.
please don't put that fence around the child, of the protection fence. Just let them be free, listen, and address that issue in a different scenario. Maybe when the child is relaxed, you are going out for a picnic or a movie, and address it. Okay, that day you said that. What happened? Ask, develop a conversation, a positive one. So that will ease out the situation and build your relationship of trust, because it's all about trust.
Trust. Yes.
Yes. The
Beautiful.
moment you react, I mean, the child builds that wall. There's a wall.
Wall that
Yes,
comes in between.
yes,
Oh,
it comes in
yes.
between.
Oh, yes. You're so right. I hope all of you are listening to this carefully because, many times we know about certain things, but we don't really put it into practice. Like we said, earlier initially, we just talk about it, but we don't really do it. This is real talks. Please put them into action. Please walk the mile with your child. It's so important to have those real time conversations with your children, so that, we have happy youngsters who are becoming good human beings, happy human beings, and good human beings at the same time. I think this is so important because so many things come together once a child is happy and enjoying the life that he's living. I think that's so important. Again, wow, this is real talk.
Okay.
Okay, all right, this was wow, and this was dynamite as always, but now let's get into a little some fun side of the thing. Okay, I know you're a storyteller as well.
Mhm.
And if you could change one fairy tale and mold it into your life, as per your which fairy tale would that be? I know you love stories. I love stories as well. And
Mhm.
I know you love all kinds of reading. Anything to do with reading is what you love.
Mhm.
And I'm sure
Mhm.
you've read a lot of fairy tales to Michelle as well. And heard a lot of them yourself, from your mom, your grandparents, aunts, and uncles.
Mhm.
So, any fairy tale that you would like to live, live through, or maybe you would like to mold your life uh, with that. Anything comes to your mind?
Um,
Or maybe you could
but
give it your twist.
okay. There are lots of fairy tales, which we all are familiar with, and they
Yeah.
all end up with a prince and, a king, and
Oh
they
yeah.
lived happily ever after,
Happily
which
ever
which
after.
which never happens in real
Which
life.
never
Let me
happens.
tell, let me tell all the youngsters over here
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
happily ever after is a myth.
Myth.
You have to work towards that. So all fairy tales have a second part which is nowhere. So I think Alka ma'am, we should work upon the that part two of Cinderella, part two of Sleeping Beauty, and all those things. But my favorite has been King Midas.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So only thing is that King Midas, he wanted
All that glitters. When I
yes,
think of
everything.
King Midas, all that glitters is not gold. That
Gold, yeah.
proverb comes to
Yeah,
mind.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So then part two of it is that wherever, now King Midas, he touched his daughter and he was crying, and, he take this away from me. So I
Yeah.
think the power of peace in the world, if King Midas gets that,
Hmm. That would be
so that second part, I would really love uh, to have that touch of peace and gratitude in the world.
I think we need to rewrite the fairy tales with peace, love, gratitude as endings, which are
Yeah.
more real rather than, I remember in Hindi also it was Ek tha Raja, Ek thi Rani, or bahut
Hmm.
khush rahe, all that.
Hmm.
And again, the king and the queen lived happily ever after in their beautiful kingdom, blah, 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 blah,
Hmm.
blah.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
mean, it's too much of that. And we
Hmm.
all
Hmm.
know that that's not the reality. I think it's
Hmm.
time for us to live the reality through
Hmm.
first talking about them and then putting them into action. So I think we need to
Hmm.
rewrite that. I think this is a good
Yeah.
idea. You give me a good You're right. Let's do this. This is a wonderful
Yeah.
idea.
And it's going to empower women, because what
Yes.
happens after Cinderella went into the palace, maybe she faced even huge problems than what she had over here,
Yeah.
or
Right.
maybe she managed the palace even better than the king, or something like that. How?
Yeah,
So that's
something
going to,
different to
yeah,
empower. Yes, you're right. I
yeah,
mean, why should there be scary cats all the time, I mean,
yeah, yeah.
why? Why?
Ha, ha.
So right and so very well said. Okay, all right. So now I'll ask another question to you. Now, if you had to listen to a song, only one song, maybe for the next 4 or 5 years, only one song,
Mhm.
which one would you choose and why?
Which one I will
I know
choose?
you love singing also.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Hmm. Well, I like a lot of songs, but
I know.
um, there's
Maybe you
this.
could sing a mashup of them.
Okay, I can't say, but there is. I mean, I like Ed Sheeran songs. Like I had shared before, also. Perfect. I really like that song,
Hmm.
and I like Malayalam songs. So English, Malayalam, Hindi. I Hindi is like a wide range of songs. So it's
Oh,
not, I
wow.
mean, so it's a wide, I
Really?
mean, you cannot
I
win
didn't know.
with
I didn't know you liked
you
Hindi
play
songs.
Antakshari and you bet you lose.
Oh,
I have that much of knowledge of English,
really? Now, this
Hindi,
is
yeah, yeah.
something new. Now, this is
Yeah,
something new
right.
about. I thought you only knew Malayalam songs or English songs. I didn't know about
Uh,
the Hindi one.
uh,
Honestly.
right from 1950s.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah.
let's talk about the decade.
Okay.
1950s favorite song, favorite Hindi song.
तू मेरा चांद मैं तेरी चांदनी हो
Guru, what's that Geeta Dutt? And what about 60s?
है अपना दिल तो आवारा न जाने किस पे आएगा
Ooh, and what about the 70s? Retro.
हम्म, तूने काजल लगाया दिन में रात हो गई छुप गए सारे नजारे ओए क्या बात हो गई
Amazing. I mean, oh my goodness. OMG, like what Michelle would say. Okay, what about the 80s?
80s was a time when I was totally like out of sync with the movies, but let me
Okay,
think. मेरा कर्मा तू मेरा धर्मा तू
yeah.
कर्मा that movie, yeah.
I got it, I
Hmm.
got it. Yeah.
I was into studies, I think.
But then, oh,
So
we were
80s,
letting the
yeah.
cat out of the bag. Okay,
Yeah. Mm.
let's come to the 90s now. 90s was a very,
Yeah, 90s. I mean, 80s and 90s, it was more of Malayalam and English movies. So, and 90s, it was Ek Do
sort of
Teen
pop,
and,
you know.
yeah, and yeah, pop and yeah, there was this movie, Lamhe and
Lamhe,
uh,
Sri Devi songs,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Chandni.
Chandni, yes, Chandni, Lamhe, and all these, yeah, Madhuri
Oh,
Dixit, yeah,
oh my God, Madhuri
yeah,
Dixit.
yeah. And we
Lovely.
had in 80s we had our VCR come into our house and there was celebration and we had these Malayalam movies and English movies we used to play again and again. So that excitement was there that time,
Yeah, I
80s and
remember.
90s.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Oh wow. But this is amazing. This Hindi part, Hindi one was really amazing. I knew about the Malayalam, I knew about
Hmm.
the English, but this was wow. Some new thing I learned today. Brilliance. So I'm sure about that. Okay, so you could listen to the, but you know what fascinated me was the 50s song and the 60s song. Arey wah. That's all I can say to it. Wah bhai wah. Okay, okay. So that's lovely. So, okay, one more question before I actually ask you to give out a message because we also have Women's Day coming up and maybe some nice message to tell the women that they have a lot of power within. But before that, if there was one strange thing that you could make appropriate in the society if you had the power,
Hmm.
what would it be?
One strange thing
Strange
in
thing
society. Hmm.
bring in the
Okay.
society if you had
Hmm.
that power? I mean, it's a strange thing. Can you
Okay.
think of something
So
like that?
yeah, so the
I know you can.
one strange thing is,
Only
there are
one.
many, there are
No,
many
no, no,
actually,
no, no
but
many here.
I'll
No many. Sorry.
one. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, when the girl gets married, she has to leave her house. So that I have found it very strange since the beginning.
Ridiculous.
Yeah,
Me too.
yeah. So it's like, the option should be open,
Yeah.
both sides,
Okay.
and yeah.
Please do it.
Yeah.
At least not for us now, at least our girls now.
Generation,
I think,
yes. Hmm.
I hope you get that power. And I think this was a powerful message in itself for, Women's Day. It's just round the corner. But still, if you would like to add to this.
Uh, I was really inspired. What made me say this is because, one advertisement I had seen of Alia Bhatt, and there was this entire setup of wedding, and there, the father is really, he's talking about Kanya Dan, and she says it's not about Kanya Dan, it's Kanya Man. So if we just remember Kanya Man on the wedding day,
Mm.
I think life will be sorted for the bride, her family, everyone, wherever she is. So just have that respect for women.
And that would be a beautiful transformative change,
Mm,
Yeah, something different and something
mm,
so needed. I think you're
mm,
right. We need to have that option. Why
mm,
only go there? Why not go
mm,
there? I mean, give a
mm.
choice. You want
Give
to
a
go there,
choice.
fine.
That's
But if
fine,
you
yeah.
don't want to go there, or you want to set up
Mm,
your own, please go
mm,
ahead and do that. I
mm,
think there has to be, we need this. Like we said,
mm,
let's get real now. Let's get
mm.
real.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't she amazing? I mean, I told you that she's amazing, and look at the amazing things that she shared with us on the podcast today. I mean, what do I say? Thank you. Heartfelt gratitude, that was so wonderful. And it's always so wonderful chatting with you. And plus the fact that I learned something new about you today, which I never knew. The Hindi one.
Oh, okay.
And all those songs that you shared, I think one or two were my husband's favorite. So, I mean, not mine so much. I
Mm,
would just kid about that when, he's saying, I'm just listening to this. I said, really? Oh,
mm.
okay. He says, don't you see? Just see the kind of depth, the intensity in the music and blah, blah, blah. I said, I relate and identify more with the 70s, 80s, 90s song somehow.
Mhm, mhm.
But then he says, okay. So, but this was really amazing. I just loved every word you shared. So much positivity and happiness you shared. I think everybody's smiling, whoever is watching, listening to you. And I would just like to thank them as well. Thank you so much for joining us. If you missed the live, it's okay. It's going to be still there for you to watch, please comment, and please to tell us from which part of the beautiful planet Earth you joined us from. So thank you so much to you, our happy, happy, happy coach. And thank you to all our audience. Thank you so much for joining us. And just stay tuned. Keep spreading love, happiness, sanguinity, positivity. Let's keep healing planet Earth and making it a beautiful planet Earth. Beautiful place to be in. So till we meet next time, thank you. Hasta mañana. Till we meet again. Thank you so much. Leaving
Thank you, ma'am.
there's a song, no? Leaving on a jet plane, but that's leaving on a jet plane.
Yeah.
Any bye bye song that comes to your mind as we say bye bye?
Bye bye, Miss American Pie.
Bye. Bye bye. Thank
Bye.
you. That was lovely. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you.
Stay blessed, stay happy, stay healthy, and always keep the faith, keep learning, keep growing.
Thank you. Bye, ma'am.
Thank you.
Bye.